So are we running late? So that's 30 minutes, Patrick? Okay. So it's the fifth Frenchman in a row. So sorry for your ears. Huh? It's going to be hard for another 30 minutes. So we will be talking about not insurance but bank. So I will be talking about 3 banks that are doing that digital transformation we were talking about in a bimodal mode. Just a bit of background of what we are doing today. So we are doing cloud in France for the past 5 years, sorry. So we've been building cloud, private, hybrid, public cloud. And the more we do cloud, the more we enter the application game. So we started with raw provisioning, so provisioning virtual machine environment and middleware and configuration and stuff like that. And the more we enter the cloud, and the more we touch the application. So we've been touching the application, the legacy one, and now we are touching the new style of application and the cloud-native application with various kind of software and infrastructures. Of course, when you touch the application, the legacy one, you touch the big boxes, and when you touch the new kind of application, you touch massively scale-out boxes, and at the same time you touch various style of IT operations. So we are going back and forth between very control ops to very agile ops within the DevOps mindset. So the more we do cloud, the more we enter the application game. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about Société Générale and Silka and Deutsche Bank, and you see the little dates. So they started for Société Générale in 2010, their cloud project, and we will be talking about that. For Silka it was 4 years ago, and Deutsche Bank last year. Okay, and why are they doing that? Just because of fintech, nothing else. Just like you, I assume. They are all afraid of fintech. Very nimble, very agile, very straightforward, very thorough little companies that are bit by bit eating their margin. And that is exactly what they are saying. Nothing more, nothing less. But it's putting a tremendous amount of pressure to IT. Okay, so they have all the same common objective. And it's really interesting and weird to see them saying the same thing. Fintech are the threats. I'm not sure there is insurance tech, but I'm sure there is somewhere insurance tech. Okay, Laurence. And they've got the same objective. They want to be more time to market. They want to be more close to their business. They want to decrease the cost of legacy, of course. Basically, they want to do something that is at the same cost, but building new business and new system. Okay, so what are they doing clearly? So they want to invest, that's for sure. This is what you've been doing with cloud apps for the past 24 months, I would say. Started 24 months ago. So they want to invest to massively scale out system with cloud native application microservices, things that will be social and connected to big data, and that will be able to scale out massively in front of moving demand. Okay. So they have all the issues you have. So you need to change the behavior, change the competencies. You need to stimulate innovation. But at the same time, what they have all said is to be able to invest in that, they need to reduce the cost of legacy. Full stop. Okay, and they are all doing both. And surprisingly enough, the breakthrough we're going to see are all around legacy, because breakthrough within the cloud native world is normal. Every month we see a breakthrough. Docker, the breakthrough. So telling that you got a breakthrough in the cloud native world is very easy. Breakthrough within the core IT world is very difficult. Very difficult. So they all and they didn't know that at the very beginning, except for Silka maybe. They're all going by model. They need to go by model, and going by model mean for them that they're gonna have to look out or think about systems, the way you deal with 2 different systems, the way you talk to each other, okay, Obviously, people and change management and changing behavior. Obviously, processes. Okay, the processes we know, processes within the new world, within the old world, between the two worlds, and tools. And we know the tools, the Dockers and OpenStack and PaaS, OpenShift and Cloud Foundry and all the stuff. They are all very exciting, very new, but we don't know how to manage those. Okay, and at the same time, we've got that core IT that is still there, and we need to do something about that. So they are all doing that. So I'm not going into the big programs. I will just go into the specific breakthrough that I have, isolate for you. So they are all doing automate everything, treat infrastructure as code to make sure that infrastructure is no more than an API, and do DevOps. Okay, all around that. And for Société Générale, we will be talking about a very nice and interesting project that they started in 2010 that is doing DevOps with legacy apps. When I talk to customers, they say, no, this is not possible, you can't do that, but they've done it, With Silka has a nice bimodal program just like you, so they will be doing very neat new apps, cloud service, microservice and stuff, but at the same time they want to provide the same kind of service to legacy core IT. So how can I provide on the fly very specific core IT environment ready to use at the pace of cloud and the price of cloud? Okay, and the last one is Deutsche Bank. So Deutsche Bank has both breakthrough, but they have gone a step further. And they wanted to do something about their application portfolio. And they wanted to have a program to move application automatically from a legacy environment to a cloud environment. Okay? So fully automated. So let's dig in. So Société Générale, 5 years ago, 500 applications, 500 method of deployment. Okay? And I'm not saying that, they are saying that. So they had everything, okay? So and at the end of the day, high cost, of course, no quality, complete lack of security, okay? No traceability, no monitoring. So frankly, and it was at the ops level that they say we can't go further like that. We can't be nimble and agile like that. It's not possible. So we need to make something happen. So that something was a unique, they think about a unique model of delivery of code from development to production, from a legacy standpoint. Okay? And so what they build, so is something that goes like that. So either you deliver binaries, code, okay, through DSL or whatsoever, either you go to a portal and you push a button as a developer. Okay, so it's working like that, in Société Générale retail banking as of today. It's automatically checked and packaged for development, for production, sorry. So you get something, you check that's something. Okay, you make sure that you can deploy that specific something. And then automatically you push that something to pre-production or production with two things that are very close to the OpenShift or Cloud Foundry way of working. There is a binaries, of course, and manifesto. And that manifesto, and it was 5 years ago, imagine, says I need that kind of piece of software to work with my application, that kind of configuration and that kind of dependencies. And I will work on that kind of infrastructure. And you treat, so manifesto say, hey, this application I need a WebLogic and Oracle 12G database, and I will run on that kind of infrastructure. So I build everything together and I push the application directly to pre-prod and to prod without knowing, at the very beginning, what kind of environment I need. Okay? Very interesting. And they've done that for 150 applications. So it's 150 apps, more than 300 change every month, which is a lot, okay? They decreased by 95% their deployment incidents. So they pay the project on that, by the way. And they divide their deployment time by 8 on legacy apps. So I've shown you, the kind of stuff they are using. You know, it's WebSphere, it's TIBCO, it's Documentum, it's big software pieces. And it's just the way PaaS works as of today. Binaries and manifesto, and treat infrastructure as code. Because it is obviously the way and Cloud Foundry and OpenShift has chosen to work, because it's the only way to operate. So this is possible. Okay, it's one of their ways to lower the cost of legacy. If we take the Silka case, very interesting. So Silka case, the same as you, they want to build new stuff. Okay, so the new stuff are here, microservices, mobile first, social first, big data connected. And to that, and to serve that, they need something that is agile, low cost, internet standards, and massively scale out. So they have built that, you know, so it's for you, Laurence, with HP this time. They've built their OpenStack, platform with that, and at the same time, they wanted to do that. Okay, so I'm going to populate 20% by the end of 2016, my new platform, but I still have my 80% of demand that is there, which is for you core IT. Okay? So what they wanted is bring that DNA here. That didn't work with BMC, so they had BMC, and they said, okay, what we want is that stuff. We want to deliver any kind of service at the pace of cloud, at the price of cloud, okay? With two main characteristics. The ability to manipulate the service characteristic on the fly, just like you would do it with Amazon, okay? I want to kick off a 3-tier architecture. I want to be able to choose my database, my G2E server, my web server. Make sure that I am, I have F5 and, load balancer somewhere. And I want to get access to that service when it is provisioned, to manipulate the life cycle, okay? To make sure that when I have provision Oracle 10G, I can raise double space, for example. So how did they did that? Okay, so so this is my my expression. Catch the elephant to dance. So they deliver through a portal, very neat one, very HTML5, okay, standard web interface, responsive design and stuff. So they are able to design everything. So they design every kind of service they need. So this is a 3-tier architecture service, okay, that we won't find that in the new era. Okay, this is the traditional one. Okay? At the same time, they offer access to any kind of resource. So every resource they have in their environment is a Lego. So you get access to the resource through a connector that manipulates the resource by itself. Okay? And they assemble the design and the resource in a loosely coupled manner. But this is not, the only thing. The results are quick, and we've done that with them. Just like we did with Société Générale. Critical mass is only 200 VMs. They have 25% cost reduction at each layer. The VM, the naked VM, is less expensive than the Amazon one. Okay? They deliver in minutes any kind of service. And, last but not least, they finance 100% of their new apps platform with that. So 100% of the new apps platform financing is financed through the decrease of that system in cost. Interesting, no? It's very nice. I find it very nice. And so Dutch Bank. So Dutch Bank is a mess. It's a big mess. Okay, so this is what we call in France un usine à gaz. Yeah, I know. They had all those versions of all those pieces of software or technology. They told us, all Java version ever. Okay? 18 version of Oracle, 19 version of SQL Server, 14 version of SUSE, and so on and so forth, and 30 different versions of X something. Okay? More than 20 large data centers, not counting the small rooms. Okay? And they wanted to go with a program that goes this way. They want to move out you know, the complexity, move from the complexity, and they build a program with only 6 data centers that is called D-Cloud, and they will standardize everything through a cloud approach. Big bets. Okay, so we've built that with them. That started a year ago. Okay, and the specific of that program is the following. And you can't see that, but if you want, you will get my slides. It's a fully automated, you know, migration tool that move application from one legacy environment to a cloud environment. So what we did is actually we built something to gather all the data of application, okay? So CMDB and monitoring and stuff, and interview, of course. Huh? We gathered everything, and we built something that basically did the analysis of the application. Okay, so if that application is able to move to another cloud environment, not talking about traditional one like Sika or new one like CloudOps that didn't know at the beginning. Okay, that very chain after the analysis does the application provisioning by itself, fully automated, and you've got exception treatment, of course. And at the same time, so either before or after, they move the data. Analysis, database provisioning and data provisioning, and error treatment. And they have built something that is truly unique in the world, that is based on automation tools, that move application, code, okay, piece of software, middleware database, data, from one point to another, and they move them either to a traditional cloud, just like the one of Silica I've been telling you about 5 minutes ago, or to a cloud native environment. Okay? Truly unique. Okay, so if you take, you know, the SG case, the Silica case, and this one, you've got everything to crack the core IT problem. Key success factor. They all, at the very beginning, thought global and bimodal. Sometimes we help them to think about that. But one thing is key. They think supply chain, customer is king. When you bring to market a portal, customer is king. If you don't think about your future customer, nobody will consume your service. So when I was talking to Silka this morning, very interesting, and they say, we are going to stimulate the demand. So we are going to the developer and show them stuff that will, you know, make them think about, you know, the ops guy are doing the hackathon. The ops guy are doing the hackathon, okay? So customer is king, so they are willing to build stuff that have indisputable value for developer. The ops guy, huh? Okay? Very interesting. And it's supply chain, so they design first, and then they think sourcing. And to get to a point where your price is as good as the Amazon one, you need to do strategic sourcing. So you design, you want, let's say, a low-cost VM or a sandbox, and you want to produce it at 20 euro a month. You will decide what kind of source you need to build it into the context of operation and security of AXA. And is that exactly what Sitka did for core IT of Sitka. And what they say afterwards is ROI lays in the legacy, not in the new cost, but it's basic economics. Huh? And new and legacy needs to work together. And this is maybe the three, you know, key thing we got from them. It's not me telling them that I'm just like a pastor Anglican. So this is it, basically. Thank you very much.